Austin Park
grant for the technology to continue our online worship.
Absolutely. Anyone else in the church or anything online, Mark?
I want to celebrate that our M&M campaign is about 86% of the way to its goal, and gifts continue to trickle in. You'll hear more about that in a minute, but I'm excited for that response.
Yes. So for those at home that didn't hear that, Mark is thankful for how successful our M&M campaign has been. We have reached a goal of just about 85% of our project as our target goal. So thankful for all of that. Nothing else in the church here, and nothing online, Mark? Okay.
I want to celebrate all the little church mice who do all the little things around the church. Helen takes care of communion almost every week with some help from Ray. Other things just get done. It's like magic. Not really. I mean, people are given of their time and their energy to make sure that everything that happens around here needs to happen. So I'm grateful to the church mice.
Yes, Mark?
Becky Mahar celebrates our continued ability to feed the needy at Storehouse West and HopeWorks.
So those online, that was from Becky Mahar, celebrating the support we give to HopeWorks and also Storehouse West, all of our outreach here, local outreach here. Annie?
I celebrate that we have a maintenance person that's keeping us in good style here, and hopefully we can keep it here forever.
Okay. Nancy?
We've got to be thankful for Darla.
Wait.
We just have to thank Darla for what she does for us.
Yes. Yeah. Thankful for all of the hard work that Darla puts forth. She goes above and beyond. Yeah, and yes, and very pleasant, easy to get along with. Bill? No? Oh, okay. All right. The Neighbor Helping Neighbor program. Rare celebrates the Neighbor Helping. Yep. Our marker is not working very well, is it?
That's okay, we'll figure it out. Butterfly garden.
Yeah. Butterfly garden. And the other thing that we'll talk about here in just a couple minutes is the Green Chalice program. If we don't have anything else, we can move on to the next agenda item. Thank you for your input, folks. Okay, the next thing on our agenda is the HopeWorks support reevaluation. One of the things that has happened with HopeWorks is they no longer have staff available on weekends. So they are only available for us to take food to for the meals we provide on weekdays, and that is becoming more and more problematic for the congregation. What we will do as a council is our plan is to reevaluate how we want to go about trying to support HopeWorks that may not even be providing meals, but possibly providing some kind of a financial support for them so they can provide the meals themselves. It's just become a little unwieldy for the congregation to get things to them in the timeline that they have available for support of that program. Yes, we've got a meal that will be served here on the fifth Monday of November, and then we have another one on the fifth Monday of January. So we will continue through those 2 months, and then once we come up with a plan to move forward, we'll put that out to the congregation. Any other comments or questions about that? If not, we'll move on to our next agenda item, which is the green policy, the green chalice policy. And Ray will come up and speak about that.
Yeah, you should have a handout on that.
And I'll share it on the screen so everybody can see it on.
Okay, so Brad's going to share it on the screen so that people on Zoom can see it. Basically, the council made the decision to try to achieve the second level of the Green Chalice program, which is a certified Green Chalice congregation. And so thanks to Linnell Soliday, who put this procedure and policy together. It's real simple, but it's part of the checklist on things we need to do to achieve the certified Green Chalice congregation. So she's stating in the first section, the mission is to walk gently on earth, care for creation, and be good stewards of God's creation. The program objective is to participate in and obtain the Disciples of Christ Green Chalice Program certification. 3, West Mesa Christian Church will participate in the Disciples of Christ Green Chalice Program and seek full Green Chalice certification by, and we only have one thing on there right now, but it's a living document, and we'll add things to this. But right now, it's participating actively in the program as recommended and guided by the Disciples of Christ Green Chalice Program and the Green Chalice Minister. There's 4 components of the program. 1 is building and facilities. 2 is grounds and property. 3 is worship and office practices. 4 is education, outreach, and justice. As I mentioned, we've already achieved level 1. So we've already formed the green team, we've signed the Green Chalice Covenant, and we made 3 changes, which the butterfly garden, the recycling program, and LED lighting were those 3 changes. Program components, the commitment is complete commitment statement, and we've done that actually. Set goals in all the areas. The green team has done that, but the council hasn't agreed with that yet. But set both goals in the new and existing programs. Implement the goals within 18 to 24 months. And main contact with the Green Chalice Minister for support, ideas, and guidance, which we do. Achieve the required credits. They give a number of points for each item that you do, and you have to add up to at least 10 in each of those 4 program components. Certification and renewal, it's a continued commitment. After you get the certification, you still at least every 3 years need to do some continued projects. Program credits, that's what I was mentioning, 10 credits in all 4 areas. The ideas and they're provided. We didn't have the attachment here, but again, we have some ideas for each area, which will add up to 40 or more in each one of those categories. We do maintain a log of the credits and also pictures. So that way we have a documented folder that we can send to the Green Chalice organization. West Mesa will also suggest and implement other ideas for credits, obtain approval from the Green Chalice minister, and implement those. So that's the basic program. But as far as the congregation goes, this number 8 is where we're asking you to be engaged and committed to this process. The council elders will consider and incorporate the Green Chalice program intent goals into the council programs, which we've already started. The congregation will commit to actively supporting and participating the Green Chalice program, both individually and as a congregation. You can do things individually at your house to be green and implement those. The congregation will suggest ideas to the green team for consideration and implementation. So it's, like I say, a moving document. If there's ever any suggestions that anybody has, you see something online or you have an idea of a green project, let myself or members of the green team, which I'll put in a newsletter article, but there's 6 or 7 of us. Does anybody have any questions about the policy? But it is a voting item because, as the program indicates, the congregation has to commit and approve this policy. Yeah, Bill? 4, okay. D, education, outreach, and justice, okay. It's environmental justice, where you see like pipelines going in and you want to, protest that or send letters to your congressman about you don't feel that's the right thing to do for the environment. So it's justice as far as trying to point out areas where people are disrespecting or not adhering to good creation care. Any other questions? Okay, hearing none, I'll turn it over to Ken for the vote on the green policy.
Okay, having heard what the green policy reading and having a basic understanding of it, we'd like to get a vote from the congregation. Those in-house can simply raise their hand to indicate a positive vote. Right. It's approval by acclamation. And if you're online, you can vote by just giving a thumbs up. Okay. So anyone, all in favor, please raise your right hand. Okay. We got a majority in-house and 4 online. Okay. All right. So we have 5 online. So it looks like we have voted to adopt that policy, so we'll get that started. Well, we're already started on it. We'll continue with that program. Okay, thank you. Our next agenda item is a report from Bill Riley on our M&M campaign. Bill?
Well, I really want to thank everyone. The committee wants to thank you. The church wants to thank you for the 22 pledges that have been sent to us for a total of $33,380. We had a goal of $39,100, which was a little over 85%. Is what the pledges were. And that pays for the mortgage for the 2 years. Remember, this is a 2-year campaign. Pays for the mortgage for 2 years, and it gives us $9,980 for maintenance. So God bless everybody. Thank you.
thank you, Bill. Any questions, any comments? If not, we'll move on to the next agenda item, which is a permanent fund report, and Ray will go through that for us.
Okay, just quickly, the permanent fund status as of September 30th, 2021 was $76,434.96. As of September 30th, 2020, which was a year ago, it was $63,842.68. That's an increase of $12,592.28, or right at 20%. If anybody's getting 20% on their investments, I think they did good. The Christian Church Foundation did pretty good. So that's where the permanent fund stands right now.
Yes, a church foundation. Any questions or comments? What is the permanent fund for? Ray, can you address that?
Sorry. Johnine asked the question what the permanent fund was for. The council has voted to take funds from the permanent fund twice that I know of. The first time was when Dan Ober was moderator, and it was roughly $13,000, I believe, somewhere around that. Mark can correct me, or Diane, if that's not right, but I think it was around $13,000. And then in 2020, we took $10,000 out to pay bills. So it's to support the church, and the Rousseaus gave that money to continue supporting the general fund as the council sees fit. And, yeah.
And so it's basically a backup, an emergency fund that we use very sparingly. It has to be pretty dire for us to tap into that. Okay. Any questions or comments, or if not, we'll move on to our next agenda item, which is our 2020 budget. 2022, I'm sorry. I'm going back, so. So the handouts that we have, and I assume the people online will be able to see that. Yep, I'm getting a thumbs up from Mark. So our administration costs have gone up about $3,000 from the previous budget. And the largest portion of that is an increase in wages for Michael in his work around here doing maintenance work. It was felt that we needed to bring him a little more in line with what he should be earning for what he's doing around here. So a good portion of it is that. Some of it is also additional payroll taxes that are incurred because of the increase to Michael. So we've gone from last year's budget was $35,744. This year's is $38,373. So we've had a small increase in the total property budget line of just under $1,000. And I think, if I remember correctly, the biggest portion of that would be for our internet service and stuff like that. Worship has held steady. No, it's gone up, I'm sorry, by $500. And that is to include some honorariums for guest ministers to come in when Mark is on vacation or on one of his classes that he attends regularly. So that's gone up by $450, I believe. Yep. That's under worship supplies. There is no increase in the Christian education. As a matter of fact, that's all zeroed out because That's all, those things have all been moved over to the special projects account. So it's no longer accounted for under a separate budget. Outreach is, right now shows a lower amount, but that's strictly based on what we have given so far this year. And it's based on 10% of our incoming tithes from what's given monthly, or actually weekly. You know, we give 10%. So that figure we don't really have a concrete number on until we know what comes in. So that's a kind of a moving target. Evangelism stays the same at $100. Fellowship stays the same at $200. Worship and choir is same at $0. Mark's salary and other expenses that we provide for have not gone up. And just so everyone knows what's going on there, and the same thing is true of Darla. Rather than them getting a raise this year, in 2022, what they have asked is, because they wanted to help to stay within budget constraints, is rather than do that, to have an additional week of time off. So the council voted on that and decided that that was certainly something we could get behind. So that's why there's no changes in the salaries for Mark, and also no changes for Darla. Other miscellaneous expenses, we've got an increase of about $1,300. Not a big jump. Our projected income, right now, our pledges are at $88,306. We have a budget differential that's a fair amount higher than it was last year, about $30,000. One of the things that we count on there is the faith factor. These are all, we have faith that the money's gonna show up. And in the past, it's always bothered people to some extent that we're budgeting to spend more than we actually show as coming in. But we believe that if we have faith that we can do the things we want to do, we believe that the money will be there. And in years past, that has been the case. So we feel pretty comfortable with that. Mortgage and maintenance is different from the general budget. We're not actually doing anything as far as mortgage and maintenance is concerned with this budget. It's just listed on here, so we have that in front of us. And then there's some other information here on the permanent fund that Ray just talked about. So I'm going to open it up to any questions or comments. There don't appear to be any in the sanctuary. Mark, anything online? Nothing yet. Okay, going once, going twice. No, sorry. Well, since there don't appear to be any discussions wanting to be had, I would ask for a vote of confidence on our 2022 budget and approval by acclamation. So all in favor, please raise your hand, and thumbs up online. Got it, Ray? Yeah. Okay. 4 online. And we've got 4 online. All right, so. Oh. All right, so anything else that we want to open the floor up to? Now would be the time. Anybody have any general comments that they want to make? If not, I think we've concluded the businesses that we need to for this congregational meeting. Mark, if you could lead us in prayer to close the meeting, I would appreciate it. We would appreciate it.
All right. Holy and gracious God, for the accomplishments of these last months, for the promise of days ahead, for the faithfulness of this congregation, for your generosity in all things, we in fact give you thanks. We give you our thanks and our praise, and we ask not for additional blessing from you like a cherry on a Sunday. Rather, we ask that our work as Christians, that our ministry, our serving, our worshiping, our living should bring thanks and praise to you. Let the world see Christ in us. Let us see Christ in each other. In Jesus' name, amen.
And for those online joining, we appreciate it.